How y'all doing? My name's G, and we're about to go ahead and start the discussion about Fantasy Strike tier list. As always, if you are looking to build your own tier list for almost any subject, be sure to head over to the wonderful website tierlist.com, and we'll get you all set it up. But that's neither here or there. Let me fix this chat feature. Kind of want I want a box chat, that way y'all can see yourselves talk. We will be going ahead, and what we will do is I will be going through each song, and then I'm going to rank it on the tier list. Let's see here, the tier list is your standard fighting game tier list. S, A, B, C, and D. I will be using the completely arbitrary ranking system of evaluating its ability to, a theme song's ability to share the personality of the character, being catchy, and like, I don't know, X Factor, question mark. I don't really have a third category, but I thought a third category would work. S for really good, really good themes. A for good, really great themes. B for pretty good. C for average, and D for bad. I don't think anything in this game is less than a D. With that said, let's go ahead and let's listen to our first theme song. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around the roster and pick. One thing that is very important to know is that both Quince and Onimaru do not have theme songs. They don't have unique theme songs, so they will not be on the ranking list. You can see it is, as you can see, their names are not here. If you were a student and you wonder why, it's because they do not have a theme song. Maybe in future patches, Quince and Onimaru will, but it's neither here or there. I'm gonna go ahead and play Grave. I think we'll go ahead and start with Grave. Grave's theme is the Snowy Mountain going on. Oh, thank you for the 15 biddies, Jill. Thank you. Going with the Snowy Mountain is definitely the Ryu of the game, and if you look at this, it is very evocative of Ryu's stage. Like any good old school fighting game. Alright, let's listen here. We're going to bump up the music just so slightly. Not yet, Jordan. Once I go ahead and talk about these character themes and we rank them, I'll go ahead and do some fighting. So it's very important to know that in Fantasy Strike, there are 3 layers of audio. There's the music, the sound effects, and ambient audio. Grave's stage has an ambient audio of like nightlife, wildlife. So you hear some wolves, some moving mountains and stuff, and some owls. So I'm listening to this song, right? It's got this techno beat, and right here, this really cool shamisen part. Bam. Grave's theme sounds very Asian without being overtly traditional. So it has a lot of that Japanese flavor, and that's good, but it's not like Edo music where it's very slow and I don't want to say plotting, but methodical. It's actually pretty aggressive. There's multiple phases, right? Like right here, where it's almost electronic. It has a lot of moods to it. And I think that's very important with Grave as a character, because Grave is meant to be the well-rounded character. He could literally do anything. Zone, rush down, poke. He's got a decent grapple. He is adaptable. His whole theme is about, like, learning through battle. Nice. Never had anybody talk about this side of the game, actually. It's pretty sick content. I know. It's something that I'm not an expert in. so I'm not going to be like flaunting some music theory stuff or like how the chords progression. There's definitely some channels on YouTube that do it. Like I know that there's a channel like Jazz Musician breaks down Persona 5 music, or Rap Producer breaks down epic rap battles of history. And I'm not going to promise anything like that, but what I can do is like try to like go off of intuition. And I think Grave is a really good theme. It has that Asian flair. I mean, Grave, if you look at him, very Asian. The samurai sword, the hakama pants, the vest, the cloud tattoos. It's definitely very Asian. And the way he ties his belt. And the sandals, of course, the sandals. Grave does not have does not fight in bare feet. Good on you, Grave. Oh shoot! Hey, Chilluck Jones, thank you for joining the CWF Nation. Thank you. For people who are wondering about that GIF, that is a scene from our Anime Expo show. That during the promos, Phoenix Wright called out Super Mario, and Super Mario responded by attacking him with a chair shot. That really happened. Phoenix Wright is a trained wrestler. He's also a game dev, and Super Mario eventually transitioned from cosplayer to pro wrestler, indie wrestler on the side at the ripe old age of 40 years old. Great story. But back to Grave, because of of a great theme that just like is multifaceted. Multiple elements, shows his character. I'm gonna give him a nice A. I don't think it's not a song that I would be bumping on my own. Like, I think that's where I go with S tier. Is either you encapsulate the theme so well, or it's a theme that bops so hard that I will go out of my way and find and listen to it on my own. Like, a lot of video game music is good in context, you know what I mean? Like, you listen to a game's soundtrack, and the soundtrack doesn't really do anything for you, but when you play the game, the soundtrack complements the game and, like, ascends it to a new level. That's what, like, if an S-rank song, if I want to listen to it not in the game, you are really good at the S-rank. Alright, let's go and change characters. We're gonna go with Geiger, the persistent watchmaker. His theme song is in a clock tower. How appropriate. First off, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the stage design in Fantasy Strike. There's a lot of really good elements in the stage design in Fantasy Strike. First off, the lighting. The lighting is really good. It doesn't have they're very similar to Arc System stages in like CG sets and no bystanders. Because if you look at it like Capcom and SNK, like Guile stage, Ken stage, Balrog stage, or any of the KOF stages, they like putting people in their background because it's a big fight tournament. If you notice, Fantasy Strike, none of the stages have people. I think this is part of it is to help with the overall system requirements. Fantasy Strike is not a especially graphically intensive game, and I think having a lot of like looping characters in the back would add on to the graphic fidelity. But at the same time, I think from a design standpoint, Serlin wanted to have minimum visual noise. Like, barely any of the backgrounds move. I think Geiger might have the most movement in a background, and that's just that way, it's a lot easier for you to focus on the action. Like, these gears right here, you notice that these gears are moving, and this little pendulum moves, and these gears move. This is not going to catch your eye, which is really good, because, you want to be focused on the 1,000,001 time spirals. And that's another thing. I want you to look at the time spiral. It doesn't just spin like a sonic boom. The time spiral actually wavers and catches light in multiple directions. The time spiral is very easy to read visually. Alright, but that's enough about the visual design of Fantasy Strike. Let's talk about Geiger's stage. So, the first thing that pops into my mind is not actually the melody. If you listen keenly, all right? So after this section, I think it's the bridge. I think it's called the bridge. I'm not really good at my terminology. Okay. So you hear a few chimes. Right there. That sounds like the winding of a clock, but listen right here. This is going to stay the entire time. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, how many did you realize that there's a metronome in Geiger's stage, in theme song? The important thing about a metronome is that it keeps... Okay, does anybody here know what a metronome... does not know what a metronome's purpose is? I'm going to assume everyone knows what a metronome is and does. So, one thing that we associate metronomes for is highlighting rhythms, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You give a metronome a BPM and it just hits that, which is very good if you want to like practice. If you want to practice music like by yourself. Normally, like if you're practicing like a wind instrument, and in a band you require the drums, but if you're practicing your own and you don't have that, a lot of people use a metronome to help keep themselves in time because, you know, hey, I have to hold this note for 4 beats, and if you can't stand 4 beats, what do? But one thing you have to remember about playing music is when you stay on rhythm. All right, chat. What is another phrase of keeping rhythm or holding rhythm? What's the other phrase used? I'm going to ask you. Let's see. I'll give you a hint. It ties with Geiger. Anyone here want to take a guess? That other phrase, what it means to keep rhythm? No, not clockwork. Not timing. Well, you're very close. It's not keeping rhythm. When you want to hold rhythm, it's called keeping time. And what's Geiger? The precise watchmaker. So it makes a lot of sense that there's a metronome in his song, because the whole point of a metronome's purpose is to keep time. Yeah, y'all didn't think I was gonna go in this deep with the character motifs, huh? Well, let's break down the other elements besides the metronome. There's the chimes. If you don't know what a chime sounds like, what looks like they're giant big metal pipes, and you hit the top with hammers. The most famous song that has a chime in it in the nerd community is the opening of Futurama, where, you know, it's like dun 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 dun. Let me play it. We're gonna have a little bit of audio clash, but that should be okay. The opening of Futurama has chimes. All right, just listen. Let me get the TV version. You hear it? Okay, I hope my channel doesn't get freaking strike for that, but that's a chime. And chimes are in Geiger's stage. I know about this just because I used to be in band in middle school. I have very, very, very basic musical knowledge. So we have the chimes, and then we have like almost a music box sounding melody. Let's find it. Now here's the thing about Geiger. the music box type melody is really good. It's really good because it, when you think of music boxes, you think of gears and moving pieces. But at the same time, I don't think of time. It's also, like, it's a good song to listen to in the background. But at the same time, it doesn't sound like a song you're gonna fight to. Ironically, Geiger has a really good theme song. He has a second theme song. Now people are like, what? How does Geiger have two theme songs? Listen.
Just a moment.
Did you hear it, chat? That rhythmic ticking is one of Geiger's most iconic sound bites. That's not Time Spiral and Flash Gear, because it's so decisive. I'll play it again.
Just a moment. Flash gear.
See, that sounds like a clock. There is no sound like that in his theme song. His second theme song isn't just him shouting the Time Spiral on rhythm. That is true here. This is yeah, this is it. This is the real theme song. Division Ring got me. And then here, and then you just mix a few of these, and maybe a drop gear for the bridge.
Just a moment. Flash gear.
I want you to notice something. Geiger's super is so important from a sound perspective that the theme song stops. Whatever background song is playing stops.
Just a moment.
It doesn't fade. It stops. Very few moves do that in the game. In fact, I might be too bold to say this is the only one. I could be wrong, but the reason why I say that is that sound or anything like it is not in his actual theme song. And while the theme song is, steamy, steampunky, geary, tinkery, like got that tinker sound, it sounds like, I said this before in the previous episode, it sounds like a song that plays when Geiger is inventing something and not Geiger is gonna whoop your ass with gears in his feet. Oh shoot. Let me get back to the main part here. Whoops, the daisy. Let's go to the tier list. I think it's time. I got enough data to rank this song. Oh shoot, I lost it. Ah! Now that I'm redoing it, the timing is totally off. I'm probably going to be cutting this part out from the, not you. From the actual VOD. I mean, not the VOD, the YouTube broadcast when I put it up. That way it looks more presentable. You're actually getting to see a blooper in real time. I actually accidentally stopped the... Okay. Got it. I'm back. Okay. Now that we have it here, I'm going to give Geiger a B. And I'm also going to move this chat. There. Oh, I should have done that in studio mode. Oh, well. It's a good theme song, but it's not fighting game ripe enough for me. Let's go to Setsuki. Setsuki in the Fox's Den. We're still having a little debate on which character she's reminded of. Ibuki is number 1. So, Setsuki also has an Asian sound to her theme. So she's got the shamshen, similar to Grave. Let me just double check. Yeah, notice how her super does not stop the background music. All right. So already I'm seeing there's a lot of elements in Grave's theme and Setsuki. We have the electronic, the shamshin section. Here's the obligatory strings. There's that whistle. And this is probably some sort of Asian guitar, Asian string instrument that's not a shamshin. I can't figure out what it is. And the drum breakdown, which is pretty cool because it's like, this is kind of like how the ninja is waiting. I think the important thing to know about Setsuki is that while she is a quick character, she is not the fast character. And what I mean is, I don't think she's like meant to be the speedy one like Chip Zaneth is. Like, a lot of her moves are more about ninja's trickery that are quick activating, but she's not there to sell speed. She doesn't have the obligatory maximum spider super. She doesn't have that. Okay. There are two ways you could do a ninja theme. Like, you either do the the meditative ninja theme, or you do the fast ninja theme. This is meant to be on the later cap, the fast and catchy ninja theme. And it has a lot of elements, and it does go a lot of places very quickly. I don't have much to say about this theme, just because a lot of the comments I've already said it in DeGray's theme. Not DeGray, Gray's theme. But I still think it stands enough on its own. I probably wouldn't listen to it back to back with Grave, much like how you wouldn't have ice cream and gelato at the same time, like back to back, but you would enjoy both of them separately. But because it's so similar to Grave's theme, and it does just enough with that ninja motif, again with the lying in wait and the little changes here, I'm still gonna give it an A. So chat, how do you liking the discussion so far? Is it too poetic? Am I getting too pretentious? Am my ratings all wrong? Like, I love to hear from you, because I think just like in any discussion of Fantasy Strike, it is community driven, and I would really like your input. But if you want to hear me talk all day, I will oblige. But saying, don't be afraid to share your thoughts. Okay, let's change characters. I'm gonna go with Rook.
Rook, shakeable, unshakable.
The Morningstar Sanctuary. It's been said that Rook in-game is completely different from Rook story mode, because Rook story mode is, I am a philosopher and king. And then Rook in-game is, break your head! I want to just go ahead and say that I feel like a freaking idiot about Rook, because it was only this week that I figured out that the character named Rook, his move is called Checkmate Buster. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just saw that right now. Symbolism 101. Rook. Checkmate Buster. kind of wish we would have a bit more of the... Oh, shoot. Kind of wish we had a bit more of that chest motif going in his naming, but it's okay. So, what do I think about Rook's theme song? First off, his stage is very wonderful looking. You got this these aqueducts in the background with waterfalls. There's a lot of rock work, but it's not in your face. They could have totally have put this in a cave, but they didn't. When they say morning sanctuary, that's right. This is a very meditative place. And look, they put benches here. Look at that. Good on Rook. You put benches. More than one bench. It's okay, G. Some people are only just discovering Miles Power. Oh, yeah. Hey, Stapler X. So what do I think of this theme song? Okay. So Rook is a very... He's meant to be the heavy character. You can see the way he walks. Very slow, very deliberate. When you face Rook, you feel like you're being marched into a corner. And we listen to this theme song. It's very rock heavy. Aha, aha. Let's get it out there right now. It's very rock heavy. Aha, 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 aha. That's my attempt at a Squidward laugh, by the way. So there's some strings there. Right there, you can hear it. You can hear it in your right ear. And here's the break. But there is a very interesting element in this song I don't know how to feel about. And it's creeping in right now. Right there. Bagpipes. I don't know how to feel about these bagpipes. Just because... I don't know if this is something in his story, or if this is like Rook is based off of some sort of Celtic rock monster. It definitely does seem like a Celtic type character, like Stonehenge or something. Of note, it's kind of an overall Fantasy Strike theme. They used it at least 2 trailers. Wait, Rook's theme or the bagpipes? Rook's theme. Ah, okay. Very interesting that they went with this one. Okay, and Damage Hill has redeemed a Hydrate, which I will redo right now. By the way, if you're a streamer or like to spend a lot of time near your computer, I highly recommend a Bubba Travel Mug. This is 32 ounces and keeps cold drinks cold and hot drinks hot for like hours. I drink a lot of water during stream, as I should, and I would have to go back and forth a lot. But thanks to this, I get to reduce my trips while also having really good cold water. It's on the free-to-play trailer and an earlier gameplay trailer. The Reach trailer has its own music. So I wonder if either Serlin banked, like, this is the iconic song, like, this is his best song and we gotta put it forward, or it could be that the release trailer had a certain day and this was one of the few songs that he had ready. I'm not going to speculate too much because I don't know, and I'm not going to like pretend I know, but I personally would have picked something else. Right here, underneath the bagpipes is this long sweeping strings notes. You could hear it. And it bleeds into this part. And I think there's a lot of layers to this song, which is kind of cool because Rook is a very layered character. You know, he's the big rock guy who's putting you in freaking pile drivers. But he's also a philosopher and a lover of arts. Like, the good guys in Fantasy Strike are different aspects of his kingdom that he values. Art, political science, regular science, martial arts. There might be something on Certain's mind there. Okay, well, Low-Rise Rook organized the tournament. That is a very good speculation. And yeah, for those who don't know about Fantasy Strike, Rook organized the tournament. Literally, the whole tournament in Fantasy Strike before the bad guys show up is, hey guys, let's all have a tournament as a way to get together and build community. So this is one of the very few, Fantasy Strike is one of the very few fighting games where the tournament is not to win a bunch of money, not to get a wish granted, or anything like self-serving to the individual, when the purpose, or in this case, collect a bunch of fighters and use them as experiments for some sort of nefarious scientific project, aka Tekken. I'm looking at you, Tekken and Nest Project from KOF. But Fantasy Strike is like the rare thing where the tournament has no evil underlining motivation. And I think that's really cool. Because the characters are generally all good. Like, good people. As for Rook's theme, I'm going to give it a B. I think there's, like, a lot of layers there to appreciate. Like, it's something that I appreciate on an intellectual level, but it doesn't emotionally resonate and connect with me. Like, something like Ryu's theme, or Guile's theme, or Slayer's theme, or This Is True Love We're Making from SNK, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Probably one of the greatest fighting game background songs of all time. This Is True Love We're Making. Look it up if you never heard it, young ones. Let's change characters. Alright, Lum. Lum, the gambling bear, the gambling panda bear, who loves gambling so much that he has a slot machine. In fact, he's got dice too. This character is jovial, energetic, very chaotic, is there for his own pleasure as much as as a personal enjoyment as there is to beat people up. Like, I'll show you, this is his Yomi counter when he throws you. Look at that, he's bouncing on you while juggling balls. Well, let's talk about this theme song, alright? First off, there's a few notes. Pendante is the gambling game that Lum plays, which is kind of like Fantasy Strike's version of poker. And you could actually play Pendante in a card game that David Sterling released. Now, what's very impressive about this stage, and I want to really highlight this, is they have the right... I want you to listen to the environment sound effects. They're very faint, I know. I'll note that the jackpot number in the background is the game's release date. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. Thank you, Division Ring. I want to really give shoutouts to the background sound effects of the stage. That is the right level of bells and whistles, not to mention the rhythm of bells and whistles. That one right there, those series of beeps, that is something that sticks with me on every Reno trip. You can hear the ringing. This sounds like real, actual slot machine music. So that's something I really appreciate. Not to mention the Liar's Lair. Liar's Lair definitely sounds like a section in the casino that you would go to. And probably right over here is the buffet. And if this was 1995, like off here is the arcade where all the parents would send the kids to so they could go play gambling. All right. I bring this up just because I really like the attention to detail to that. As someone who spent a lot of time in Vegas and Reno growing up, I find these sounds very nostalgic. I didn't gamble a lot, but you know, that is a series of sounds that stay with me. Now let's talk about this song. like Setsuki and Grave, Lum's song is also Asian, but it definitely has more of a Chinese flair to it, with the harpsichord in it. The harpsichord and the mellow and the mellower tempo. It definitely sounds like a song that would boot up when I'm playing a Chinese MMO, and this is like the intro song or something. I appreciate that they really wanted something, reminiscent of China, especially with Lum being a panda. With that said, this theme is boring as hell. Yeah, I said it. It's flippin' boring. I mean, look at it. Listen to it. This isn't casino music. It is casino music, but it's like casino music that they play in the elevator or at the spa or at the lobby, right? This is not like woohoo, roll the dice, I'm gonna go gamble. No, I can't believe it. There's nothing. The only thing evocative of this is that it sounds Chinese. It doesn't sound like something I want to gamble. It doesn't sound like where I'm gonna fight. It doesn't sound like any of that. It just sounds so. It sounds so chill and mundane and consistent, which is something that Lum is not. Sounds like the perfect casino music, Dan. It's not like having clocks. The music sort of sits in the background and lets you get to gamble. Yeah, but see, okay. Division Ring, very good counterpoint. For those, if I may, to steelman your position, Division Ring, your argument is that Lum's song is a good casino song because of the fact it does sound like something a casino would play. Agreed. But there's a difference of something that belongs in something and something that evokes something. So while Lum's song does sound like it belongs in a casino, what I think makes it a good theme is that it has to evoke a casino, which is either the high life, the big band culture. When I think of casino music, I usually think of big band jazz. Now, there are two casino songs that I like to bring attention to. I'm getting number one ready. And I think these do a better job at selling the vibe of the casino. Right, it's the conflict of the theme versus setting. Lum's song is its casino's gambler theme, but it doesn't fit a high adrenaline fight setting. Exactly. And I think this is like conversations like this I think are very important for us to have as consumers of medium, is because I really think when it comes to talking about stuff you like and dislike, it's really good to be able to develop the language and the tools to better convey your ideas on like why X or Y does and does not work. Because saying, "Blah, this sucks," "Blah, is boring," while they are critiques, they don't really do enough to push the conversation forward. And again, let me just reiterate, I am not a music theory expert. So I'm not going to be treating my opinion as law. Oh damn, do I think Lum's theme is boring? But I am not the one to just say something's bad. If you say something's bad, you want to, or less than ideal. I'll say less than ideal. I don't think it's a bad song. I think it's just a poor choice for Lum. There's a difference. So what would be a good song for Lum? Or what is the sound we're looking for? Well, I have two really good examples. And I'm going to show it to you. The first is from one of my favorite video games of all time. And Yakuza 0. This is Goro Majima. This is his introductory cutscene where he runs a cabaret club in the 80s. It's a similar way that Geiger has clockwork in the background of his super. Lum's various slot machine dice type noise contribute to the overall effect of his theme song. Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. Lum's stage, if you look at it, Lum's stage does a heavy amount of the legwork of evoking the casino theme. And Lum's super is really good because it does have that ka-ching slot machine sound. However, Geiger's super draws attention to it by cutting out the background noise so you can focus on it. Meanwhile, Lum's slot machine is a supplement to whatever noise is happening. So it's less about, hey, listen to this slot machine, and more like Lum's going to just bring the slot machine with them anywhere, and it's just going to add to the noise. But I want to go ahead and bring up to this. This is a cabaret club. It is like a host club with a big band and stuff. And it does carry a lot of that 1940s imagery that you see with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, the late night swingers, party vibe, martini glasses and stuff. It's very old Vegas. Old Vegas used this a lot. But there's this really good scene. I'm going to play this cutscene, and I want you to really pay attention to the music. Actually, let me go back. Right there, the big bass, the bombastic keys, the bassline guitar. The aggressive horns. This is good. This is good. You could feel the big stage, the big hallways, the spotlight on you. I'm gonna let this cutscene roll a little bit. The aggressive jazz piano, it's all there. It's all there. And I think it's a wonderful choice. It's a very wonderful choice. Chat, type 1 if you have gambled before, like in a casino, not like money matches or online. If you ever actually went to a table and gambled. I want to know. I want to know who here has done it. So I could really talk about the sensation that gambling gives. I am not a big gambler, but I have gambled, and I have won, and I have lost big. Not huge, but I have lost. And I've won out like a bandit. Like, I took like $20 and I turned it to $250 one night. That was fun. It was stressful, but it was fun. Well, while I wait, if you haven't gambled at a casino, the thing about gambling is that it's almost like doing a guitar solo with stakes on the line. And what I mean is when you're gambling with people, it almost feels like a performance in that you are in a state, like on stage, and a lot of people's eyes are on you. And whenever you win, everybody's like, "Yeah, you did it!" And everybody you lose, like, "Oh!" You feel on the spot, and there's this edge, there's this thrill. They call it gambler's high. Gambler's high is real, by the way. Like when you score, like, whew, you feel really good, and you just want to keep trying again. 1, to increase your winnings, and 2, to like, because winning feels good. And I think that's very important to know is that when I felt it, I would actually take moments when I kept winning to like go somewhere else away from the casino and cool my head so I could really tactically think and continue on. It's a very invigorating, kind of scary feeling, and that's what it's like to be Lum in a way. Sorry, I know looking down is really killing the rhythm of the conversation, but I totally forgot where my there we go. That's what it's like to be Lum in a way, where you are, every time you throw an item, you are gambling and you're rewarded with big damage, and you are doing things that are not ideal just so you could like edge a win, and you pray, and when you win, you're like, yes, you are playing the odds as much as you're playing with the opponent. And in addition to just risking moves out there, like in any fighting game, you have this invisible stat of luck that the right item comes out at the right time and that you can deal with it in the right way. And that's why I'm really critical of Lum's theme, is that it doesn't have that rush and the thrill as Division Ring sounded. I remember how I said there were two theme songs that evoke gambling that I would rather use. Final Fantasy IX's almost literal blackjack with the Corsair job. Lol. yeah, exactly. Well, let's see. So here's another theme. This theme is really good. It's very similar to Yakuza 4, Yakuza 0, in terms of having that big band feel. And funny enough, it too features a bear that throws items. So what are we talking about, folks? Why, where is this song from? Geez, I wonder what it is. What's this song from? Oh, could it be Persona 4 Ultimate Arena? Yes, it is. Now, this theme is not as bombastic as... Let me turn it down a bit. Not as bombastic as the theme song used in Yakuza 0, but it still has that big band theme. And you can hear the persistent snare drum in the back. And there's a really strong bass line, the horns. And the bass line really comes in prominence right here. It's coming up. And I think those two would be infinitely better as theme songs than what we got now. So, with that long rant there, I'm sorry, Lum, you get a D. You get a D. You have failed. Shame on you. Shame on your cow, Lum. Go and use your winnings to buy a better theme. I can't be too mean. I can't. It's not in my style. Whew! That was like way more than I thought I'd say about Lum's theme. Thank you for adding to the discussion, DeGray and Division Ring. Shall we get moving? Oop.
Jaina.
You wanna fight? You wanna fight?
So Jaina, Graves' sibling, and much like any good pairing with red and blue types, Jaina is your classic red type, the more aggressive, in-your-face, angry character. Now, I do think there is a hint of irony where Jaina is the hothead, I'll beat anyone up fighter, but she's the zoner.
Fire! Burn!
I think that's hilarious. I don't know if that was intentional, if that was a little bit of an oversight, or maybe it is the subversion of tropes, but I really find it funny that your most aggressive, hard-headed, hot-tempered personality character is the zoner. And a hard zoner, not like oh, you could zone. No. This is how you play Jaina.
Rain of fire! Ha! Rain of fire!
Let's talk about her theme. Okay, so Jaina's theme reminds me a lot about Ken's song, especially with the dichotomy with Ken and Ryu. Ryu had the very Asian theme, and Ken, it was just strictly rock and roll. Same with here with grave, shamishens, and Japanese instruments, with Jaina just straight up guitar and guitar. Oh, also, I gotta land this just once.
Red Dragon!
Maybe I'll do a video where I rank all the super moves, because everybody else does it. Maximilian, Sugar Punch Designs, blah 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 blah. No one has done it for Fantasy Strike, and I'm an opportunist. Maybe. So this is a very hard rocking theme. The guitar is front and center. There are guitar solos. There's the keyboard. But yeah, this is probably like the longest y'all have listened to the themes like by themselves, huh? I don't blame you. The game's too fun, but do I think this song evokes Jaina's fighting style? Maybe. It's hot-headed. It's got the fire motif. And, of course, it really sounds good when you land a dragon heart in the foreground. It brings it out. It brings it out like tomatoes bring out mozzarella. Like, this is just another drum. Really good. But as a zoner, it doesn't bring out the theme. It doesn't bring out that aspect of her. Unlike Graves' song, which was multifaceted and multi-element to emphasize his adaptable style, that doesn't. However, this goes off of Jaina's personality hardcore. So where would I put this? Let's actually do some stage commentary too. So Jaina's stage is a tavern. It is not just a tavern though. It is a tavern in the middle of a fight. Notice the spilled bottles, this flipped over table, the lack of staff. Probably they ran away because like two people were brawling. It's definitely a place that people are currently fighting. It's also an Asian tavern, as you can see with the paper lanterns and this scroll right here. The scroll right here is a big dead giveaway to show this is not a European tavern. And you can also see with the bottles, like these wide bottles right here, is very reminiscent of Asian liquor. You don't see too many like traditional, like this is kind of like your message in the bottle. You don't see too many of those. But I'd actually put Jaina's theme in A, just because it sells her character so hard, and it's pretty spiffy to listen to and fight with. I do think it's one of my favorite stages to fight in, just because all the blows really punctuate the guitar riffs and tempo. I guess that's all for me to say. Let's keep going. Also, if you haven't, please give this channel a follow. I do play a bit of Fantasy Strike, and I'm a variety streamer, so you'll definitely not be bored with the content we're here at CWF. Definitely, we got some interesting programming up in the books. Like just last night, we had everybody watch The Last Airbender together. We all suffered. It was hilarious. We did more laughing at it than with it. For those who watched with us, I'm sorry and thank you. There we go. This is Argagarg's theme. Argagarg, the doll sim of the game. Argagarg's very patient. Long limbs. He is definitely not very angry. The wise shaman trope. One little detail I like is if you listen very closely, you could hear his walking stick in his walk cycle. I think that's really cool. And you don't hear his walking stick when he walks backwards because he's not using it to move his weight forward. Let's talk about this game. This song. The first thing that stands out to me are the bongo drums. And I don't even know what kind of instrument that is. But it does fit the relaxing swamp vibe here. Just because, if you look at it, this is a very peaceful place. Fireflies are out there, the swamp's there. It's very well maintained. This is a very tranquil area, which is kind of funny because you're having a fight here. Now, I don't think it's as bad. It doesn't suffer the Geiger problem where it's not aggressive enough just because Argagarg is not very aggressive. But at the same time, this is still not a song that reaches out to me. Personal bias aside, I don't like playing as a Argagarg. He is my least favorite character to play as in the game. If you play Argagarg and you play him well, I love you and hate you. Because that's a lot of commitment, and I hate playing against Argagargs. But I feel like I can't really contribute much to the theme. So what do I give it? What do I give Argagarg's theme song? I think it's a... I think it's a C. No. B. Give it a B. Yeah, I'll give it a B. It's those bongo drums. Those bongo drums really put the kind of tribal sound to the forefront. Like Avatar, Blue People Avatar would.
Valarie.
Here we are, Valarie, the manic painter, the bipolar bisexual character who has made this giant wall of Quince's face and Onimaru as a way to be like, F them. I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't like this theme much. Because Val's the maniac painter, and there is nothing really... Oh, hey, Tommy Bombay! Beep, beep, beep. Welcome, welcome. We are currently ranking the theme songs of Fantasy Strike. Glad you are joining us. Nice. Direct Relief Charity 2018. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Good, good, good. So, Valarie is known as the Maniac Painter. Very colorful, very vibrant personality. And this song does not sell it at all. I am sorry. And that's like the thing about her, like, as a character is that she has really high highs and really low lows. And this song, this is very consistent, but at least it's not that meditative consistency you hear in Lum's theme song. Hype! Perfect. Yep, get hype. Also, it doesn't really sell the artist motif. Alright? I don't think of artists or a surge of inspiration. In all honesty, I can't think of what would be a good song to substitute for, just because this type of character I haven't really seen in fighting games. So, no, congrats to Sterling for making that, but this theme doesn't really sell her a lot. It doesn't show the myriad of colors, her personality swings, her, like, you know, because her character is very high energy. Yeah, she yells almost everything, and the way her voice picks up, it's not "I have an idea," it's "I have an idea," and that little extra note is that vocal flourish about it, like how you would, you know, sign a signature. You know, these little personal touches of her don't really come out in this theme. However, it is better than Lum's theme. Yeah, I'll give you that. I think it's better than Lum's theme. A lot of things are better than Lum's theme. So what do I give it? What do I give it, chat? I feel nice. I think a C. Accordions? You think accordions? Accordions could work. The problem with accordions is that it draws to polka unless you do like a Venice style theme, like something you hear in the soundtrack for Ratatouille. That could work. But not this. This doesn't really do much for me, but I still, at least it's a good song to fight to. So there's that. Let's go to the next song. We have 2 characters left.
Midori.
So first off with Midori, I gotta say, like, he looks more like a dwarf or a Viking that, like, stumbled in and just decided to try on the robes for a cosplay shoot. So here's Midori's stage. You could already see that, well, you can listen. It has a very nice, smooth progression. And it definitely sounds like training montage. Like, Daniel-san, learn the crane kick, wax on, wax off training montage. Which actually helps, because if you look at his stage, you see the training dummies here. There's a waterfall here, probably something you meditate to. And a lot of Midori's quotes are about training. Like, it's an honor to fight you, play fair, and of course, let me just turn on his Yomi counter.
Still learning? Yeah.
Still learning. So there's this, he is definitely living up to the mentor motif of his theme. It's also not a very aggressive theme, and Midori's not very aggressive either. He's very methodical. Look at the way he walks. He always feels like he's in control of what he's doing. Which is a stark contrast to the dragon. which is hyper aggressive, very violent. However, Midori is in control of the dragon at all times. It definitely does sound Asian. Especially that pan flute right there. That's what really sells the Far East Asian temple sound. I'm having a hard time wanting to rank this, because I personally don't think it's hype enough, but at the same time, it's keeping up with the training motif, so it shouldn't be hype, because, you know, training is not hype. Training is deliberate, focused, and methodical, which, compared with Midori and his quotes, are deliberate, focused, and methodical. That's an interesting place. I'll put it in an A. Yeah, I'll do it. Look at that. All the Asian sounding themes are getting at least an A. And everybody not is less than an A. Haha. I don't know if there's some sort of implicit Asian bias that I'm carrying over, but I do think it's funny and maybe just on a coincidental level. Go on to our final character. This is DeGray, the Tyrant Killer. Miles Edgeworth, but older, with his ghost stand.
Justice.
The Library of Justice is his theme song. He's got a monocle. He's there to whoop your butt. Right there, right there, right there. Best song in the game. Best song in the game. Hands down. Done. Discussion over. God, like this song. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. I legit love this song. The Discord chat affectionately calls it angry violins, and it's absolutely true. These violins are so pressing, and they're so bombastic, so in your face, and then it breaks out to the snare drum bit while still keeping the string motif. And what really helps is DeGray's voice helps this song.
Final arbiter.
The way that DeGray elongates his stuff. Arbiter!
Gotcha.
Gotcha! Notice with his long vowels, he really likes to stretch them. Dummy hit. Let me go to a dummy setting stance. Right there, right? The way he does it. Sorry, I just want to do this. This is the best combo in the game. Anyway, this song is so good. It sounds like something that DeGray would listen to. It sounds like something that a lawyer would use. It's hype as hell. It has multiple multiple moments that don't discard the core theme. Like how, you know how Grave and Setsuki, they keep the, they have the Japanese motif and then they abandoned it for like techno and strings? Not this one. This is still classical music, beginning to end. Oh god, I can't, like, I'm still gushing over this. Let me just do this right now. Let me just get this out of the way. S tier right there. There you go, chat. After all that deliberation, we have done it. We have finally ranked all the Fantasy Strike characters' theme songs. And as you can see, DeGray sitting right on top of the tier chart, as he should be. I want to thank everybody here for entertaining me with this discussion. I'm going to go ahead and start playing some Fantasy Strike now.